Welcome back. Today we are in our 34th country, which is Portugal.
After spending several weeks in the Alps and then enjoying some of the cities in southern France and Spain, we have finally made it out here to a much more chill area. We are here on the Algarve coast and we are really just looking forward to kind of like chilling out and enjoying the sun and the beaches here.
So we got up really early this morning at 5 a.m. We hopped in an Uber and took about a 35-minute ride here to the Benjil Cave. It is the most famous spot along the Algarve coast, and for good reason. The cave is absolutely amazing with a hole on the top of it. You can kayak to it, paddleboard, and that is what we did this morning. We joined up with a tour group that we had booked in advance, and we hopped on some paddleboards to paddleboard on the ocean for our very first time, which was so much fun. We paddled over to the cave where we beached our little paddleboards, and then we got to take in the absolute beautiful, stunning views of the cave from the little beach that's inside. We have made it to the famous cave, which is right here behind me. We paddleboarded out and it was actually so fun. Like, we've kayaked before, but we have never paddleboarded on the ocean, and wow, look at how stunning it is. And up there, so surreal to actually be standing here in the cave. Our tour guides also gave us a little geology lesson, as you can still see fossils and different shells that make up the walls of the cave. Then we continued along the coast. We saw some jellyfish, we saw crabs on the rocks, and then we came down to some famous arches, which is one of the most picturesque views and was voted the most beautiful beach. And we just spent some time chilling on the paddle boards there before we ended our tour. The tour was about 2 hours long, and then we paddled back to the place that we started. So you can actually see the top of the cave from this little trail, and this trail actually connects to a whole system of trails.
The cliff walk, or the trail that we're going to be walking later on today after this little section, it starts over at the Praia de Marina, or the Marina Beach, and then goes for about 7 miles all the way along this coast. So it's going to be a great way to kind of like get to see all the cliffs down below, all the different arches and caves. Honestly, this coast has just been shaped so beautifully by all the waves and all the erosion around here, leaving so many arches behind, and it's just a great area just to walk along and enjoy it.
Southern Portugal is so stunning, so we are so excited to spend the day checking out as many beaches, caves, and cliffs that we possibly can before we end our day back in Lagos and explore some more of the beautiful southern town. So behind me here is the hole to the cave. Erosion is what has worn it away over the years and is why it's open on the top here now, which is really cool to see. We just put on a very thick layer of sunscreen because the UV today is supposed to be 11, but this is on the path that you can walk along, so we're just going to continue walking along the path here and see what other sights we can see.
It's like 10 o'clock right now and the waters are just infested with kayakers. Definitely well over 100 out there right now that I can see, just in like one short little stretch. So there's all kinds of tours going on all throughout the day, and then there's also like all kinds of just kayak rentals where you can just rent a kayak for the day and go out on your own. So definitely wanted to get here early to try and beat some of those crowds, and it definitely works because when we were out there, you know, there was one other group out there, so there's maybe a total of 20 of us out there. There's a solid 100 in just one little stretch.
So we have made it down to Marine Hub Beach, which is good because we're sweating, and I honestly think that we need to apply another layer of sunscreen because we are completely roasting out here. But we're almost down to the water. It was an absolutely beautiful walk along the whole coast. So the whole thing is 7 kilometers long, but I think we're just doing the portion from the first beach to this beach today, although I'm sure the rest of it is absolutely beautiful as well. But we're just gonna chill on this beach for the next couple of hours. Are you okay?
Yeah, lost my hat.
We also need to try to find some water. We hope it's not too many euros, but we really need some cold water.
Doesn't matter
here.
how many euros it is, we'll just hand them all of our euros to get some water.
That precious right now.
So we just stopped by the little Marina Beach Cafe and we were able to find some water, and the best part is it did not cost us all of our euros. I think it was only like 3 euros for the 1.5 liters. So not too expensive, still far more expensive than a grocery store, but we needed some water.
So next we are trying one of the most famous little pastries here in Portugal. It's called the pasty de nata. I might have said that wrong. Nata means cream. Cheers. Here we go, our first pasty di nata. The inside is like a custard, and it's a flaky pastry, and it's like crispy on the top. I absolutely love this. Jordan, what do you think?
2 bites of absolute deliciousness.
The perfect day in Lagos.
We have found the perfect little beach spot. So we're gonna lay out for a little while. But first, it's time to go cool off. We're finishing up at our time at the beach. Apparently there's a cave over to another beach, so we're just gonna go quick check that out before we head back up to the top of the cliff.
It's high tide, so there is no beach right now, but we've heard it is a cool beach if the tide's lower. So we just ordered an Uber to come pick us up. It's gonna be about 30 euros to get back. There are buses that run, but the buses take an hour and a half, whereas the Uber ride takes like 30 minutes. So we wanna get back to Lagos sooner to use more of our time here. So just waiting for the Uber to pick us up. We're gonna go back into town, freshen up, and start exploring the town, as well as grabbing some food. So we just swung by our Airbnb and we changed out of our swimsuits and freshened up because now we're walking towards downtown Lagos, the old city, which is actually so beautiful. It is surrounded by some old historic castle walls, which is truly beautiful. Last night for supper, we went to a restaurant called The Green Room and it was so delicious. We had fajitas, they had a bunch of tacos, highly recommend that stop. Tonight though, we're gonna go have traditional Portuguese at a little bar we saw that's supposed to be really tasty, so we are really excited for that. That's what we are doing next before we head to another beach to enjoy the sunset.
So the restaurant we were going to is unfortunately not opening until 6:30, and so to fill the time between now and then, we decided to start with some dessert. So we went and picked up 2 more of these pastel de natas because they are absolutely delicious. Who would have thought that an egg custard was so good?
This is our 3rd one of the day. Yeah, we also found another cute little pastry shop that we went by and we got ones too. We also got what's called a custard cupcake here, which not as good as these, I'm not gonna lie. These definitely take the cake. So I think we're just gonna keep getting these while we're here. Cheers. So for dinner, we are at a local favorite that is called Adega Típica, a feria, and what that means is typical wine cellar. Now this place is known for its incredible seafood, and I ordered the grilled tuna, which I've never ordered at a restaurant before, and it is so good, flaky, delicious. I also got a soup, it's called like the grandmother's vegetable soup, 10 out of 10. Jordan got the chicken, which is also really good. Everything has come with really fresh salads. We've got some boiled potatoes. We also got some bread that was delicious. 10 out of 10 for this stop. Make sure to add it to your list when you're here. We just finished supper. It was absolutely delicious. However, it got pretty windy while we were sitting there eating. I think it's gonna be a windy walk by the beach, but we're just gonna walk through the old town now and head to the walk that goes kind of along the coast. There's so many different beaches here. Honestly, just from Lagos, you can walk 10-15 minutes and check out so many different beaches, which is incredible and why we did not rent a vehicle while we were staying here. Lagos itself is a town with so much history. There's history going back all the way to 2000 BC. So this is a town that has had Roman influence. Like there is a beach actually that you can go to that has a bridge that looks like it's from like a Roman-esque time period. I believe it was destroyed by an earthquake in the 17th century but has been restored since. So that's a really cool beach to check out. That's only about 10 minutes from our hotel. Lagos actually also has tons of different cafes that are super great. We've been grabbing coffee at a cafe called Black and White. There's another one this morning I don't remember the name of. I'll link it down below. That's also good too. So yeah, we've had a nice couple of days just checking things out, relaxing, chilling in this town, and kind of taking a breather before the next leg of our journey. I'll stop talking now, keep walking as we head through the beautiful, beautiful old town and down to the beach. So we walked all the way down the coast to a very beautiful point that has just gorgeous views of the sunset. It was absolutely stunning and the perfect way to spend our time here. Next, we're actually headed back to our hotel to pack up all of our stuff, to hop on a bus, to then hop on a plane, because next we are flying to Paris this evening, which is one of the top destinations I have wanted to visit my entire life. So we are super, super excited for that. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we will see you very, very soon in the next one.